Clash of Clans is a legendary mobile strategy game where you step into the shoes of a village chief in a fantasy themed world. Your mission is twofold. One, build and defend. Use resources like gold and elixir to construct a powerful base, upgrade your town hall, and set up defenses like cannons and walls to fend off raiders. Number two, train and attack. Raise any custom army ranging from mustache twirling barbarians to fire slinging wizards. To raid enemy villages for loot and trophies in intense 3-minute battles. The real heart of the game is joining a clan. You can team up with up to 50 players to donate troops, chat strategize, and compete in massive clan wars for glory and rewards. Whether you're a casual builder or a competitive strategist, there's always a new goal to clash for. When I think about the music that truly resonates with me, is that going to work now? We'll just start with the first question again. All right. Well, like I was saying, what was the very first song or artist that made you fall in love with your favorite genre?
Falling Up. Falling Up is a alternative heavy rock experimental band based out of Portland, Oregon. They are no longer a band, but they formed into a new band now called the Chilean Alpine Adventure, which is like an indie rock band now. So
Interesting.
yeah,
The second question is, how does this music usually make you feel?
music usually makes me feel good. I take a lot of inspiration um, from it, especially with my music. And the music I create is kind of experimental, alternative, all that stuff. So I definitely take a lot of influence and inspiration from that band.
Right on, right on. If I wanted to start listening to this genre today, which three albums or artists would you recommend as a starter pack?
Ooh, there's a lot of good ones. Falling Up, of course. Um, if people are into heavy rock, alternative rock, I guess. ELO is a good band. They were a 70s, 80s rock band, I believe. They got some pretty cool music. Time is like one of their most popular albums that blew up in the 80s. But they had all their other ones too. Some other ones I think are called Secret Messages and Duya, I believe. Um, Falling Up albums, I would say Captiva, Your Sparkling Death Cometh, and Self-Titled are probably maybe good starters. Or if you really want to go back into it, listen to their early stuff, which were Crashings and Dawn Escapes. See, another third artist I recommend, and not a lot of people know this artist, but he's a solo artist called Kevin Max. I grew up listening to him. I remember listening to him on my iPod Touch, which I remember playing drums and like breaking drumsticks, listening to his music all the time. So, and the three albums I recommend from Kevin Max are Stereotype B, The Imposter, and AWOL.
That's sweet. You gave us a lot there.
Yeah.
And then, is there a specific time of day or activity that you like listening to this music?
Really anytime. Usually I really mainly listen to music when I'm driving. When I'm driving here, when I'm driving to work. If it's a 5-hour drive to my dad's side of the family to Lake Superior,
a lot of
So
time.
that's usually when I'll listen to it. Even sometimes I'll maybe do a late night music listen at like 1 in the morning, something like that. So
Of course. And now, are you more drawn to the lyrics and the stories being told, or is it more about the sound of the instrumentals?
honestly, I don't mind either of them, but I would say definitely the lyrics have a big impact. Whether doesn't matter what genre that is. I think lyrics have really good impact on us as humans, especially for the people who listen to, different styles of music. And I would definitely recommend listening to the lyrics, or at least looking them up to see what the artist is actually talking about. Because there's a lot of good songs out there, and there's a lot of bad songs out there too. So
Of course there is. And how has this genre changed since you first started listening to it, and you think it's heading in the right direction?
I think so. Yes. A lot of independent artists now, including myself, are going towards this genre when it comes to like alternative, experimental, heavy rock. A lot of upcoming artists are definitely experimenting with different genres, different sounds, kind of get their stuff out there. Even like the 2000s punk rock stuff is starting to come back. A little bit of that sound is starting to come back too. So yeah, it's really up to the artists what they want to do.
And of course, you can do so much more on your own nowadays.
Oh yeah,
You don't need a whole group to make something happen.
I'm not even signed to like a record label or anything with my music. I do it all by myself. So
Yep. I'm the same way. So I do have a couple of guys helping me with mixing and stuff though, and the mastering processes. But otherwise, I do make a lot of it on my own. And have you ever seen any live performances in this genre?
I have actually a few local bands that I know in the Green Bay area. I've seen a couple. One is called Ditch the Hubcap. They are a local Green Bay area band. They're a heavy metal and I think punk rock band, I believe. They have 3 EPs or 3 albums out, I believe. And their albums they kind of talk about the world, politics, as a lot of punk rock albums do. Aurelia is another. Those are great friends of mine. They're a great local band as well. I know them very well. Grew up with them, with playing with them, with youth groups, and I've helped them out with like video stuff and photography stuff as well. So, of course, there's other ones too, but those are the main 2 that I highly recommend as far as like local shows and all that.
It's pretty cool that you grew up with them too and kind of know them pretty well.
Oh yeah.
And then, who is an underrated artist from this genre that you wish more people knew about?
Kevin Max and Falling Up, for sure. They are definitely not as popular as a lot of people might think. They are definitely underrated, especially with what happened with Falling Up. They used to be on a record label called Tooth and Nails, and I believe it was on their 4th studio album. They let them go, so they had to go independent for the rest of it, and a lot of people kind of left, stopped listening to them after that, and there were also new people that listened to them as well. So definitely those guys too. And not a lot of people know about them either. 'Cause like I said, they went like super independent and really underrated. So
Nice.
yeah.
So, what do you think this genre says about the culture or the time period it came from?
That it's awesome, that it rocks, and listen to it, I guess.
Good answer.
Awesome.
And then the final question, if you were stranded on a deserted island and you could only bring one album from this genre, which one would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would have to go with Kevin Max, Stereotype B, because I grew up listening to that album. I actually have a CD of the album, and I have a vinyl of that album. So I would, if that was like the only album that I had to listen to, it would definitely be that one. And I wouldn't get tired of it. I still don't, so.
Nice, nice. Well, thanks for coming on.
Heck yeah, dude, it was fun.
Let's dive into one of my favorite genres. When I think about the music that truly resonates with me, that speaks to my core and provides an outlet like no other, and it points to the all-powerful, complex, and deeply engaging world, I think of heavy metal. For some, metal might just seem like noise or aggression, but for me, it's one of my favorite genres.
Interesting.
A genre that's built on intricate musicianship and raw and rich history. To truly appreciate modern metal, you have to look back on its origins. The roots of heavy metal begin to solidify in the late 1960s and early 1970s, primarily in industrial cities like Birmingham, England. Bands like Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin started experimenting with louder, distorted guitars, heavy drums, and themes that were often darker or more powerful than the mainstream rock at the time. They cranked the volume and created a distinct sonic signature sound that laid the foundation for everything that followed. This powerful new sound quickly evolved throughout the 80s into subgenres like thrash metal and glam metal, constantly morphing and adapting. This evolution brings us to some of the bands that define my personal passion for the genre today, and adding each their own unique flavor to metal's grand tapestry. First, there's Pantera. Hailing from Texas, they practically defined groove metal in the 1990s. The sheer force of their music, driven by the legendary Dimebag Darrell's aggressive heavy guitar and Phil Anselmo's commanding vocals, offered an intensity that was undeniable. Songs like Walk are anthems for defiance of strength and embodying the resilience that is a core part of this metal ethos. Then we have Slipknot, the band that exploded onto the scene in the late 1990s, changing the genre with their masks, massive percussion sections, and chaotic energy. Their blend of the elements of metal and visceral, almost terrifying performance art aesthetic. Their sound is pure, unfiltered chaos. A brilliant mix of rage and precision that provides a powerful release. A couple of my favorite songs from these two bands include Domination, which is by Pantera. I really like Clash with Reality by Pantera, and I would have to say I agree with them. Walk is a very good song. I agree with what I wrote down there. Walk is a very, very good song. And then for Slipknot, there's Metabolic. I can't say that one. I'm blanking right now. And When All Hope Is Gone, 3-0. I really do like both of these bands' whole discography. I very much enjoy them, and they're pretty rocking. So, moving into the 2000s, Killswitch Engage became a major force in defining modern metalcore. They combined the brutal breakdowns and intricate drumming of hardcore punk with melodic, soaring vocals and harmonized guitar leads. This contrast between harshness and melody is something I find incredibly compelling, offering both aggression and emotional depth with the same song.
You can see that I'm reading off my computer.
Some of my favorite songs by them are The End of a Heartache, The Rose of Sharon, The Signal Fire. Once again, it's just the whole discography I'm really a big fan of. And then finally, I have to mention Meshuggah. The Swedish band takes technicality to an extreme level. They are known for incredibly complex polyrhythmic structures that are both challenge the listener and the musician. Listening to Meshuggah isn't just listening to music, it's an intellectual exercise in understanding rhythm and precision. Their sound is extremely heavy, challenging, and utterly unique. And a couple of songs that I like by Meshuggah are Bleed, Demurge, I believe is how you say it, and Ozium. And those are some very good songs by Meshuggah. They have their lead vocalist, it sounds like you're dragging bricks across the concrete. His voice is so low and just growly. It's gnarly. It's crazy how he's able to do such a thing. Either way, heavy metal in all its forms is more than just loud music. It's an art form that demands technical prowess, offers profound emotional expression, and boasts a history of constant innovation.
Just a couple seconds.
It provides an energetic sanctuary where the complex ideas and raw human feelings converge into a powerful sonic experience. It's a genre that continues to inspire, challenge, and connect people like me around the world.
All right, the next student I have with me is Peter. Peter, how's it going?
I'm breathing and I'm above land, so pretty good.
Right on. And the first question I got for you is, what was the very first song that made you fall in love with this said genre?
That's a really good question. So I mostly stick to pop with like rock and rap at like the very most, and I would say probably Monster Under My Bed, the Eminem and Rihanna song.
Oh, that is a good song. Yeah, I remember that one. That came out in like what, 2013?
Yes.
Yep. Yep. And how does that music make you feel?
Brain gets happy.
Perfect.
I like dark undertones in my songs, but not the song to be fully dark itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. If I wanted to start listening to one of those genres, which 3 albums or artists would you recommend as a starter pack?
Well, for rap, can't really go wrong with Eminem.
Of course.
A lot of my rock taste is more like along the lines of like Skillet.
Interesting.
And my pop, well, I guess a random Katy Perry song, like Eye of the Tiger, is the first one that comes to brain.
Roar. All right. And is there a specific time of day or activity that you like listening to this kind of music?
Whenever I'm in the mood for it, really. A lot of my music tastes, sometimes if I want a happier song, I throw on a happier song. If I want a sadder song, I throw on a sadder song.
Yeah, it's nice to have that choice now with all the streaming platforms that we have nowadays.
Yeah.
And then what are you drawn to most, the lyrics or the instrumentals?
I prefer lyrics. Instrumental is important, but I just like the how you make the words fit with said
The flow.
beat, not.
Yeah, the flow. Yeah, that makes sense. I like the lyrics too a lot in songs. Those can really change the way I feel about them.
Yeah.
And how are these genres changed since you first started listening to them? And do you think they're heading in the right direction?
Oh, now that I haven't listened to any like rock songs that are of this decade, I'm pretty sure. So
They're weird.
Yeah,
I can't say I'm a big fan of many rock songs either from nowadays. It's got to be 70s,
Yeah,
80s, 90s.
I grew up in the 2000s, so any like 2000 era music, my brain just is adapted to.
Yeah.
Oh, so like pop is going in a very interesting direction because we have like a lot of like country and rap singers kind of approaching on like the pop
Yeah,
scene.
Shaboozey.
So it's kind of like so weird for the time of pop right now. Like Jelly Roll, he's a fantastic artist and all that, but like I watch WIXX, what's mostly a pop radio station, and like so far I've been just hearing every one of his songs lately. So it's just like kind of in this weird state of like, I have a feeling pop is just going to become a subgenre that you tack onto every other genre.
That does kind of make sense. I do agree with you there. Like, I mean, Shaboozey's a prime example of that. He almost mixes like a rap flow into his country songs. Like,
Yeah.
not saying I like that, but they're doing it.
That's the direction music
Yeah.
is going.
They're doing it. Have you ever seen a live performance of any of those genres?
No, I'm too broke for that.
Hey, at least he's honest. And then what is an underrated artist in these said genres that you wish more people knew about?
Okay, there is this one guy on YouTube called Zach B. He's more of what is called nerdcore. I don't know if any of you heard of it. It's a newer genre, but basically he will like take a video game character and like make a song about them. And like his flow, well, he does make references to the game itself, but his first priority in a lot of his music is just making a good song. His songs can get on like, kind of have a mental health underline to a lot of them, because like some fictional characters are just sad soon as you strip away the fantastical super abilities.
Yep.
So, like, Aqua is another one. What was back in the early 2000s? What only had like one good hit, but always interesting to see where a band crashed and burned once in a while.
Oh yeah, for sure. What do you think this genre says about the culture or the time period that they came from?
I think it. I don't know, because pop is so vast at this point, but
That is
yet
true.
it feels like it's too small to comment on.
Yeah.
It feels like little pond, big fish problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Pop's a weird one too, because I see even 70s rock bands and stuff that'll have like some albums or EPs that say pop on it, and it's like, well, I don't know, it doesn't sound too pop, it just sounds like almost bluegrass kind of country
like,
rock.
Pop is like everything and nothing at this point.
Yeah.
And like, I know that's more of a metaphysical concept, because for there to be nothing there in the first place, something had to be there. That how come zero works.
Yeah. And then if you were stranded on a deserted island and could only bring one album with, what would it be?
One of Eminem's albums. I know I've been mostly focused on pop, but
I'm a big fan of his really old stuff where
Yeah,
he
Emin-
just said really terrible things. I have a very fun time listening to that kind of music.
yeah, like if I'm stranded on a desert island at this point, I'm not worried about what society thinks of me.
Yeah, right.
I need music to hype me up, so I can at least pretend I can survive for more than one day.
Sweet. Well, thanks for coming on.
Anytime.
And let's talk about some rap music right now.
The last subject we're going to talk about is rap. When the music hits just right, when the beat drops and the lyrics paint a picture of culture, struggle, and resilience, for me that feeling is uniquely captured by hip-hop and rap. It's a genre that many misunderstand, viewing it through its narrow lens, but for me it's one of my favorite and most vital forms of musical expression. Hip-hop is more than just music. It is a cultural movement that originated in the South Bronx of New York City during the 1970s. Faced with economic hardship and community neglect, Black and Latina youth transformed block parties into a creative outlet. DJs like Kool Herc started isolating the percussive breaks of funk and soul records, extending them for dancers. MCs began to rap over these beats, acting like hosts before developing into lyrical artists we know today. Alongside graffiti art and breakdancing, rap music became a powerful voice for a generation, giving a platform to stories often ignored by mainstream media. Southern hip-hop in the 1990s. They brought a dark, often hypnotic sound characterized by heavy bass, lo-fi production, and horror-influenced themes. Their influence is massive, laying the foundation and groundwork for much of trap music that dominates the charts today. They were authentic and unapologetic in their storytelling. Moving forward, we're going to talk about the Suicide Boys and their unique sound. Which, something funny about the group above, 3 6 Mafia, they actually, Suicide Boys sampled them over 50 times and then were actually sued by 3 6 Mafia when they only got vocal permission to use it. They didn't get it written down in a contract that they could use it, so they kind of turned around and sued them, so that's what I find pretty interesting. But either way, this New Orleans duo bridges the gap between classic Memphis rap and modern punk aesthetics, creating what some call shadow rap or trap metal. Their music is raw, dark, and tackles heavy subjects like mental health and addiction with brutal honesty. This vulnerability in their lyrics, complied with abrasive beats, offers a powerful form of catharsis that I find incredibly compelling. Next up is Poya, a key figure in the South Florida underground scene. He blends rapid fire delivery with versatile flow, often collaborating with artists who share his independent counterculture approach to the industry. His music is energetic, often humorous, and represents the DIY spirit that keys to the underground makes the underground vibrant and exciting.
Oh, I didn't do it again.
Finally, we have the modern quirky genius of Babytron from Michigan. He represents the internet era of hip-hop music with his off-kilter beats, deadpan delivery, and constant pop culture references, often sampling obscure video games or his movies. He's a testament of how the genre continues to innovate and adapt, always finding new ways to be clever and original. Hip-hop has came a long way from the Bronx block parties. It's a genre that embraces endless evolution, technical skill, and raw, unfiltered storytelling. The music of Babytron, Suicide Boys, 3-6 Mafia, and Poya shows just how diverse, innovative, and essential this art form truly is. And really does break down who some of my favorites are and other artists that are like them. When I think about music that defines a generation,
All right, and the final student from NWTC I have is Leah. Leah, how's it going today?
I'm going pretty good.
All right, so what was the very first song or artist that made you fall in love with your favorite genre?
Definitely Glass Animals. Probably their song Heat Waves is how I first got into the album. It is one of their more popular songs, so you can definitely argue that it's overplayed. But the album that it's from, I do really love.
Awesome, awesome. How does this music make you feel emotionally?
It's a little bit sad sometimes, but not too much. So, during high school, it fits the vibe sometimes.
All right, and if I wanted to start listening to this genre today, which 3 albums or tracks would you recommend?
I recommend the album Dreamland by Glass Animals, as well as Zaba by Glass Animals. They're both kind of really weird, although Zaba is weirder. And then a similar artist is called Cosmo Sheldrake, and any of his albums are really interesting. So definitely recommend those. Yeah, I can put it on.
Terrific.
Okay, cool. Yeah, any of those 3 albums would be awesome. Zaba is the most abstract of them, kind of. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't quite follow your typical pop structure. And then Cosmo Sheldrake, he actually uses a lot of nature and animal and bird sounds and water sounds and stuff like that, which makes it really interesting.
It's almost like ambience, like background ambience in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
Interesting.
But then he also has horns and drums and bass and etc. So it's a really cool combination.
Interesting. Is there a specific time of day or activity that you like listening to this music?
I've done a lot of homework to it, for the most part. It's really nice driving music as well, usually. So I can recommend it for those 2 things.
Sounds about right, yeah. And then are you more drawn to the lyrics and the stories being told, or is it more about the instrumental?
Definitely the sound. I don't even register lyrics the first time I listen to music. It's all about how it sounds. So with some pop music, I like it because it sounds cool, and some of it sounds boring, and I hate it. It's very back and forth, but I only start learning the lyrics if I listen to something enough times because I like the sound of it.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I can be a lot different considering I always listen for references and stuff in rap songs, and that's a completely different genre though, so
Yeah.
you can't really compare the 2. And how has this genre changed since you first started listening to it? And do you think it's heading in the right direction?
I have no idea. I've only listened to it for a couple years, and I'm not too aware. Although I will say, so Glass Animals, their first album was the weirdest. The next one was a mix between being weird and being semi-conventional. And then that song from their second album got really popular, and so their third, or their most recent album, was definitely had a more conventional influence than some of their older stuff, which is a little bit sad to see. People have said that they were kind of pushed by their studio to make a more conventional sound.
Yeah, that
So
happens a lot.
It's unfortunate.
If they signed to record labels,
Probably.
they're under control, and there's not much they can do with it. What is an underrated artist in this genre you wish more people knew about?
I would go back to Cosmo Sheldrake. I think his stuff is just so weird, but also cool. And it's a really unique idea to add like sound effects into music.
Yeah.
So he does it. Melanie Martinez also, I haven't listened to her in a while, but a lot of her music also will have sound effects that relate to the story in the song.
Interesting. What do you think this genre says about the culture or the time period it came from? I'm kind of hearing that these people seem a little bit newer though onto the scene,
yeah,
right?
Pretty much. I
So
mean,
they're almost still figuring out their way.
probably.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very nature influence on one side, and probably, I don't know, almost like an electronic influence for some of Glass Animals' music.
Interesting. And if you were just stranded on a deserted island and you could only bring one album, what would it be?
It would be Zaba by Glass Animals, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on.
Sure thing.
And let's talk about the next genre.
Music that still gets airplay decades later and brings a smile to my face. My mind immediately goes to the incredible sound of the 1970s and 1980s. This era of rock, in its broadcast, most melodic sense, is hands down one of my favorite genres. To understand why this music is so special, we should look briefly into where rock came from to understand. Rock and roll originated in the 1940s and early 1950s in the United States. It grew out of a mix of African American music styles, including rhythm and blues, gospel music, and country. Pioneers like Chuck Berry and Elvis Presley energized this new sound, creating a rebellious, danceable style that swept the nation and the world over the 60s. It diversified into countless forms: psychedelic rock, folk rock, blues rock, setting a stage for the diverse sounds and of the subsequent decades. The 70s and 80s took a foundation and refined it, creating a sophisticated yet accessible form of rock and pop rock that captured the eyes of many. This period gave us incredible singer-songwriters, masterful performers, and timeless tunes. Let's talk about some of the artists who make this era so compelling for me. First, there's Billy Joel, the Piano Man. He's a master storyteller. His music is incredibly diverse, moving seamlessly from pop ballads like Just the Way You Are to driving rock like You May Be Right. What I love about Billy Joel is his ability to create character-driven narratives within his songs, painting vivid pictures of everyday life and emotion that are universally relatable. A couple other songs that I personally enjoy by him are Moving Out, or parentheses, Anthony's song. I also really like Just Rock and Roll to Me. Like they said, You May Be Right's very good song.
When this is done,
My
I'm going to
Life,
say
I
like
really enjoy too.
2 sentences and then we can go
Next
to the
up,
end
we
of
got
that.
Daryl Hall and John Owens.
And then we're
They're
all
the
good.
most successful duo in rock history for a reason. They perfectly blended R&B, soul, and rock into what became known as blue-eyed soul, with songs like Rich Girl and Private Eyes are masterpieces of pop craftsmanship, catchy rhythmic, and instantly iconic. Their music like
All
Man
right.
Eater by them too. Rich Girl is an
You're good.
unbelievably good song.
It confused me. I'm like, are we already?
There's a couple other ones that I just forget the names of that I really, really enjoy too. But yeah. Then there's the brilliance of Elton John, a showman in every sense of the word. Alongside the lyrics of Bernie Taupin, Elton John created some of the most enduring melodies of the 70s and 80s, from grand piano epics like Tiny Dancer to pure pop energy like Crocodile Rock. His music has taken a theatrical flair that is unmatched and instantly recognizable. I also really enjoy Beyond the Yellow Brick Road by him too. I also, just because I do play piano and all that, I very much enjoy his music for that reason. I'm trying to learn to play a lot of his stuff and sing along with it. He's a talent. And then finally I have to mention the band America. Their sound leaned heavily into the acoustic folk rock roots, creating a gentle, harmonious sound that was a stark contrast to some of the newer, heavier music in the era. Their harmonies are beautiful, like songs A Horse with No Name perfectly encapsulate that breezy, laid-back rock vibe of the early 70s. I also really enjoy Ventura Highway. That is probably my favorite song in the moment right now. I really, really, really enjoy Ventura Highway by America. And The music of the 70s and 80s, especially from artists like Billy Joel, Hall & Oates, Elton John, and America, represent the golden age of melody, songwriting, and pure entertainment. These artists created the soundtrack to millions of lives, including mine, and their work remains timeless, proving that great rock music is not just about volume, but about heart and soul, and unforgettable hooks.
This portion of the broadcast is
All right, and that's all for today. Thanks for hopping on the live and hearing some of NWTC students' favorite genres, artists, and songs. This is Ross from Track signing off. God, I'm sweating.
I feel like we all did a good job outside of the audio.
Yeah, damn, man. Like, I even thought that show was running pretty decent. Man.
Yeah, and I was like, what? We tested it.
Something's still playing. I don't know what. No, we still have to do one more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't want to.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Test, test. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Test.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Really? We're having
Well,
more?
usually it's on or it's on or off, whether it's muted or not. Do you have the gain properly set as well? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, that's you.
1, 2, 2.
I think that one's Peter.
1 to the
and
2
that
to
one's
the 2
Leah.
to the 1 or whatever.
2 to the 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jingle bell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You should check. Look. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Leah testing. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Are
5,
we all
6,
good
7. We're okay.
for
Yes.
once?
Hello and welcome to our holiday bonanza with the live event group. Today we'll be doing a Name That Movie poster along with Is It a Christmas Movie? But to start off with, we'll have our little game show. Today we have 2 contestants, Peter and Leah. So rules of the game, you're just going to see a frame from a movie poster and you want to grab the bell to answer. It will be competitive. There is a prize. So
Is it that coffee?
yeah, am I half drinking coffee? Yeah. Okay.
Lovely.
So without further ado, let's get into the first movie poster.
Home Alone.
That is correct. That is Home Alone. Good job. And you will have to keep track of your points. I don't have a score sheet. So.
I'm here for fun.
Number 2.
Jim Carrey's The Grinch?
That is correct. That is Jim
Perfect.
Carrey's Grinch. A classic. I personally prefer the animated version, but
That's what I grew up on.
yeah, to each their own. All right, number 3.
Polar Express.
That is correct. A little snowman next to a train. All right, number 4.
Jingle All the Way.
That is correct.
Okay.
Jingle all the way.
Sorry, my dad watched this movie religiously. So
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I don't watch
That's-
very many Christmas movies.
It's gonna be a tough game. All right.
Yep, okay, I'll get better.
All right. Next one. This one's a little tricky.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
That is correct. That is
Whoa!
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Little animated or claymation
Oh,
dolls.
it's like felt, isn't it?
Felt, yeah, felt with
super cute.
claymation. Yeah. All right. Next up.
The Santa Claus.
No, that's not correct.
AC/DC Christmas.
No, it's not
I
correct.
don't know.
Any more guesses?
Shoot, I had it. Now it's gone. I guess that was a waste of a bell ringer.
No
little
guesses.
tricky. No guesses? All right. We are going to reveal then. It is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I don't know.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of
I
it.
heard of it. I
I've
just
never seen it.
never.
I think it's either some people love it, some people hate it. So
Makes
it's
sense.
in there. All right. We'll move on. Next movie poster.
Oh my god, is that the leg lamp?
Potentially.
I don't know what movie that's from though. No idea.
Shoot, this
Give me a letter.
uh,
The first letter of
the first letter is
first
A.
word. A?
I believe so.
Another Christmas Story?
I'll give it to you. It is A Christmas Story.
Okay.
So,
Cool. Also
Yeah.
never seen it, but
Really?
we
Wow.
roll.
I only saw the scene where he sticks his tongue out on the
On the pole. Yeah, I also had that. I could have pulled that one. I thought the leg would be a little bit
I
more.
recognized the leg before I would have recognized the pipe.
All right. Moving on.
Elf?
Correct. That is Elf.
I don't like Elf.
No.
That's just a personal opinion.
Sure.
Keep moving
Again,
on.
some people I think love it, other people don't. My mom is one who does not. But
I thought
moving
it was
on.
fine. Is this the Christmas Claus? I mean, the Santa Claus head.
This one is indeed the Santa Claus. So, good one.
Knew that kid looked familiar.
Moving on.
The Muppets, guy who says Bahumba, why am I blanking on
A
his
Christmas Story. Or A Christmas Tale. Right? A Christmas
Christmas
Carol!
Yes. That is indeed the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Wow.
I think the best rendition of A Christmas Carol, but
You know, I'm sure my dad forced us to watch that at one point, but I can't recall it. I do recall a Donald Duck version.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I suppose Scrooge McDuck would fit. So.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yes, as a Charlie Brown Christmas with their tiny tree. Next up.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
That is correct. Second one. Both great movies.
Statue of Liberty for the win right now.
Yeah. Mimicking the first poster. All right. Next one. This is our final one.
Oh.
Die Hard?
That is correct. Die Hard. So that brings us to the end of our Christmas movie poster segment. I believe Peter won.
Probably, yeah. I was blanking on that.
Yeah. I wasn't keeping too close a track, but it did seem like he pulled ahead.
Good game, Peter.
Thank you. I'm very shocked that I won for once.
So before we move on to Is It a Christmas Movie, we're going to see a little video of during the holidays it can be a little hectic, and sometimes on like Christmas morning, breakfast gets overlooked. And so this is just going to be a little video of a perfect Christmas morning breakfast to make. So, look at that. This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Alton Brown's Everyday Cookbook, without which this video would not be possible. Today we'll be making a breakfast carbonara. To start off with, you'll need a tablespoon of orange zest, quarter cup Italian breadcrumbs, or any breadcrumbs you want, about a quarter cup of diced fresh flat leaf parsley, 8 ounces of your noodle of choice. We're using linguine. You can use spaghetti, fettuccine, whatever you desire. 4 large eggs, 8 ounces of your sausage of choice. We can use breakfast sausage. I'm using Italian sausage today. And lastly, 3 ounces of pecorino romano grated cheese. You can also use Parmesan. Really, you can just kind of mix and match whatever you like. To start off with, all you're going to want to do is take your quarter cup of breadcrumbs and your orange zest and parsley and just mix them all together. Just dump them in a bowl. We're going to be using this as a garnish, so you're just going to want to kind of mix them up a little bit. You can use a fork, you can use your hands if you want. Really, the goal here is just to get the orange zest fully incorporated in the breadcrumbs. The parsley, it'll be a little bit harder unless you're using dried parsley. But as long as it's somewhat mixed up, it should be fine. And then once you have it all mixed up, you're just going to set it aside next to our large bowl here till we're done with everything else. Now we're going to want to get our pasta water going, so we're just going to crank the heat up to high on our burner and take a large pot and fill it with about a tablespoon of salt. You can use more, you can use a little less, but my general rule of thumb is to have your pasta water as salty as the sea, so just be as heavy-handed as you want. And then we're just gonna put a lid on this and let it come to a boil. Now that our pasta water is at a boil, we're just gonna dump in our 8 ounces of linguine, or whatever noodle you are using, and just let that cook till it's al dente. Generally take about 9 minutes, and you just want to stir it probably about every 2 minutes to make sure the noodles aren't sticking and cooking together. You want them nice and separated. So just make sure, keep an eye on that, keep stirring every now and then. Now, in the meantime, while your pasta is cooking, you're going to take a skillet of your choice. I'm just using a cast iron skillet today. Set it to medium-high heat and just dump in your sausage. And we're just going to work on breaking that up into small pieces while also letting it cook to a nice even brown. You know, make sure there's no pink left at all. You don't want to be eating raw pork on Christmas morning. So just let it cook all down, get nice and crumbly. Now once your pasta is close to being finished, you just want to take a measuring cup and just scoop out probably about 1/4 cup, close to. You can have more, you can have less, doesn't really matter because we're about to dump it out. So we're just going to strain our pasta, get all the water away, and just put it to the side. Now with our large bowl from earlier, we're just going to crack our 4 eggs into it straight up. So just do it one at a time. You can always do this in a separate bowl if you want. Make sure there's no eggshells getting in there, or be careful of rotten eggs, but just crack them on a flat surface, get them out. And then once we have all of our eggs in, we're going to dump in the rest of our ingredients, being our 3 ounces of grated cheese, and also about a teaspoon of cracked black pepper. Again, be as heavy-handed or light-handed as you want with this. It's up to you, but a teaspoon if you want to be exact. I just use a pepper grinder, and we'll just crack in probably 16 to 20 twists of pepper into this. I prefer mine a little more peppery. And then once all our ingredients are in the bowl, we're just going to take a whisk and get it nice and combined. Make sure all the yolks are broken up. Make sure it's all just one solid mix and everything's fully incorporated with each other. Now once it's fully mixed, we're going to grab our pasta and just dump it in there. Grab our sausage and just dump it in there. And then once we have everything in our bowl, we're just going to give it a little stir. Just mix everything around, get the egg coating on everything, make sure the cheese and everything's fully incorporated, and all just one cohesive dish at this point. Now if it's a little too thick for your liking, we can take that pasta water we saved and just mix in a little bit at a time until it reaches your desired thinness or thickness in this case. Just keep adding it till it loosens up a little bit and is your desired mix. And now we can just plate it up and have ourselves a nice bowl of breakfast carbonara, a perfect warm dish for your Christmas morning activities. And welcome back. That was just a nice little video on, breakfast. So moving on, we are doing a little short segment to end off the show of, is it a Christmas movie? And it's just going to be kind of a friendly discussion this time, not competition, just do you think it is a Christmas movie or not? So first movie, Die Hard. Controversial, but...
I think it takes place on Christmas, so it must be a Christmas movie, I guess. I've never seen it, but I'm gonna go so far as to say yes, it can count.
That's fair.
I do view it as a Christmas movie, but it's kind of like what would be the criteria for a Christmas movie, really?
That's the question. I think the main thing is if you swap out Christmas with something else, can the plot still take place? So I would say in this case, it is relevant because he wouldn't be where he's at if it wasn't a
Yeah,
Christmas
no.
party. But
No one has party for St. Patrick's Day
Yeah.
or like Thanksgiving.
yeah, you don't have a office Thanksgiving party or whatever. So, I mean, I'm on the personal opinion that it is a Christmas movie. So you also agree?
I'm fine with calling it
Yeah.
a Christmas movie. I'm waiting for one that I can like really get steadfast on.
Sure.
Because this argument's been done for ages
Yeah.
at this
I
point.
thought I'd get it out of the way right away because
Yeah.
it's just the main one. So moving on, we got Nightmare Before Christmas.
Sure.
Sure.
Everything can be a Christmas movie.
Everything
I
can
don't
be a Christmas movie. That's fair.
care. I mean, it involves Christmas. I guess I would say no. It's more of a Halloween movie, but
Yeah.
Santa's in it, so I don't really care.
It could be 50-50.
Yeah. There's no rule saying that Christmas can't approach on another holidays movie.
Sure.
It already does it in the real world.
That's fair. I would say I'm more of on the side of it's primarily a Halloween movie, although it can go either way. It's just, I guess, personal preference.
I see it more as a like seasonal
Sure.
movie.
In between.
Yeah. Wait, wouldn't that just makes it a Thanksgiving because that's the
It
next
could-
holiday in between?
It could be a Thanksgiving movie because it's,
We
yeah.
cracked the code.
All right. Next movie, Gremlins. This one was mentioned earlier, but I don't know how
This
familiar.
one's up to you. I've never seen it.
Let me see it.
So, Gremlins. Well, it starts off with a dad getting pet for their kid for Christmas.
Yep.
So it's already. So if you move that into any other holiday, it really doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I would say it's mostly a Christmas movie. Yeah, it's just like a horror Christmas
Horror
movie.
Christmas.
And one of the good ones, because have you seen those indie studios turn Santa
I-
into
It's just like random, just extra violence for violence.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Ooh,
this is more
I will
tame.
say, what's it called? It's like Code Red or Red Agent. That one, I did like that Christmas
Oh,
movie.
is that the one where it's like Santa's like
Red One.
John Wick essentially?
Red one, yes. It's with Dwayne Johnson.
Oh.
I mean, it's an action movie at the end of the day, but I did actually enjoy that more than I thought I would.
Sure, that's fair. It was just kind of like over the top fun, I guess. You know, doing everything
Yeah.
for everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, personally, for Gremlins, I would say it's a Christmas movie. You could also technically swap out the plot for like his birthday as a birthday present, but at the same time, with the season and like all the other things that are going on around it, since it's like a whole town-wide thing.
May I make an argument to that point though?
What?
We see snow in there, meaning it's winter, meaning most
Yeah.
likely December. And December kids' birthdays are always on Christmas.
Well, it could be January, February, or March too,
Yeah.
and just be snowy. Or
Okay.
November if you live in
I'm
Wisconsin.
pretty sure there's a calendar in there, so.
Sure.
They could have flipped the page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shoot, the scene is supposed to take place in January, not December.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's primarily, it could be counted as a Christmas movie just by virtue of everything going on. Next one, Harry Potter. This one's a personal of mine where I view it as a Christmas movie, but I don't know what other people would think.
I think I've seen the movie. I've definitely read the book.
Sure.
I would vote no, because I don't even remember what happens on Christmas. He gets some gifts, but it wasn't the focus of the book, at least.
No,
So I'm going to have to pass this one by, but I respect it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so. Shoot, my sister just made me watch these movies with her like a few nights ago, too.
Yeah.
I would personally not count this one as a Christmas movie as strongly. Because, yes, there's a few scenes in Christmas.
Yeah.
But that's only, what, not even 2/3 of the movie?
It's a very short segment. I think
Yeah.
the main thing is he gets his invisibility cloak. So
Then the school year just continues on like
Yep.
normal. So I can see why someone would want to watch it around Christmas. But overall, I wouldn't call it an exact Christmas movie, if that makes sense.
that's fair. Yeah, I just I don't necessarily view it as a Christmas movie, more of a movie to watch around Christmas because growing up there was the ABC 25 Days of Christmas or ABC Family 25 Days of Christmas, and they stuck like all the Harry Potter movies in there. I think probably as kind of filler because there isn't too many Christmas movies, so I just kind of associate it with this time of year. So that's just my kind of personal take. But moving on, Edward Scissorhands.
Also, haven't seen this one. Can't give much of an opinion, unfortunately.
I haven't seen this movie in a while, so
Yeah.
I will give my best bet. I feel like this is like a Harry Potter situation
Sure.
where it does have scenes taking place during Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
but there's not enough scenes that bring it up for it to be counted a Christmas movie.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. I think I'm not exactly sure the time it takes place, like seasonal, because it is like in the like suburbs where it's like super green and everything, but
It takes place like, I want to say it goes through all the seasons at one point.
sure. I know because I think the movie is like like grandma telling their granddaughter about
Edward
Scissorhands, and it's like at the end of it he's like carving ice sculptures and that's like flaking off and that's like causing the snow.
I know he did the ice sculpture thing like also in the middle of the movie too.
Yeah, he did like
So
he did like bushes, so that like evolved. So it's like he's like the cause of the snow, I think is the story. But like
I would need to rewatch the movie to actually give you a real answer, to
That's
be
fair.
honest, because I haven't watched this since high school.
yeah, I think that's fair. I think I personally would say no, even though it can kind of lean into that territory. It's just one of those things where it's like it has some elements that would be like that.
Somebody just walk around. They timed off.
All right, and Lord of the Rings. I know Alec mentioned this one like 2 weeks back, and I was curious. There is like, I guess, a journey aspect which I think could relate to, I don't know, just holiday feels, just a cozy movie.
For the sake of Brandon Calabrusco, who will not see this, yes, it's a Christmas movie.
Okay.
He hasn't steered me wrong yet in this class, so I will agree with.
All right, so that's agreement that Lord of the Rings is a Christmas movie. So I'll take it. I think that works. And our last one, Batman Returns. A lot of Tim Burton on here because I'm a Tim Burton
Well, Tim
person.
Burton does enjoy his Christmas and Halloween.
Yeah, Tim
Leah,
Burton's great.
what do you think?
I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
So convince me.
Oh, okay. So, first the movie opens up on one of the Christmas where Oswald Cobblepot gets shoved in a crate and sent down the sewer system. He becomes a hideous thing growing up, blah, blah, blah. Then you have Catwoman stuff, Batman doing his grim dark thing because this is a Tim Burton one. Selena Flaws get revived by cats just by licking her forehead. I don't get how that worked, but it's a comic book
Cat
movie.
magic.
So, I know there's a party, actually it's a gala, what's supposed to be the big Christmas gala party for the rich people and all that, what Selena falls into. We see Oswald Cobblepot visit the graves of his parents when it starts to snow, and he, if I'm remembering correctly, he brings up that Christmas is going to be coming up soon, hence why he was visiting it. And the movie basically climaxes with penguin wanting to blow up the city with robotic and real penguins on Christmas Eve. So I would classify that as a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's a lot of, snowy ice, Christmas like antics. Because like you said, there's like that event that's going on, and Cobblepot uses that as an excuse to cause mayhem.
There's a Christmas tree.
Yeah, there's
at the beginning of the fight, in one of the fight scenes.
Yeah, it's very much Christmas time, and I think it's relevant to the story. So.
Well, the only reason Cobblepot wants to blow up Gotham on Christmas Eve is because he was shoved in a crate and paddled down the river into the sewer system on Christmas Eve.
Yep. So, I think I would say, that's a Christmas movie. And that is the last of our Christmas movies. So thank you for watching today and joining us. Thank you to our guests for joining us today. And until next time, have a happy holidays. Goodbye.
I'm so happy I convinced people that Batman